hello, welcome. We are beading today. Give me a moment to set everything up. Can't stop. I started beading in December and I still cannot stop. I'm not complaining, I'm okay with that. I wanted to, complain or at least be a little bit scared that I am stuck in creating Christmas content long after Christmas. But then I thought, one of my favorite YouTubers is Alt Knots, and they create Halloween stuff all year round. So I figured that's why I love them, right? And maybe someone loves Christmas, and maybe that someone is me. Sorry if I'm disturbing the sound. I want to... Oh, and the picture too. I want to place my microphone kind of better. Yeah, hi, welcome. I'm just setting everything up. Please join me, please. Tell me what you're working on. Yeah, I wanted to just pin the welcoming comment. Hello, welcome. Welcome. Long time no see. I haven't been live live for a while, and I don't actually know why. Okay, I think I'm all set up. I think I'm ready to actually craft. Okay, where is my thread? Here it is. Hello, welcome. I'm very happy to see you here. I haven't seen you for a while. It's very nice to catch up. Okay, can I pin this comment? Yes, here it is. Yeah, welcome. Hello. Hello, baby. I see a baby on your... what is it called? The picture on your thumbnail? Do you have a baby? Who has a baby? Tell me. Because I don't have children and I'm not planning to. And whenever people are having babies, they always say that it is the best thing that has happened to them. That it is the happiest they've ever felt. What am I doing? I need just one thread. Jesus. I am from Finland. Where are you from? Hello, hello. Welcome. Join, please. Okay, some people do this gracefully and easily, and I cannot. You know this knot when you twist it several times and it gets bigger? I can't do that. I've tried many times. Okay. I'm okay, thank you. How are you? You see my wrong side? It's very wrong. No, I actually saw what they are supposed to look like, and that's pretty much okay. I'm just, I don't know, teasing myself. You know, in December, I saw this video online. Actually, it's here on YouTube. The account is Lake something. I forgot. I will tag it. A lady there showed her options of felt Christmas ornaments. There were hearts, crescent moons, some animals, probably some other stuff, and I fell in love with them instantly. And I made lots of hearts. I posted them here. I made a lot of hearts and I gave them as Christmas presents to all my friends. And when I saw that there were no hearts, I made one for me, or maybe even two. But when I came home one day, I saw that all the hearts were given away, and I'm happy about that. I was happy to give them away. But I kind of thought that I wanted, I have this picture in my mind that probably someday when I have a home, when I have a house, when it's big enough for 2 Christmas trees or even more, one is maybe in the yard, one is on the first floor, one is on the second floor, something like that. I'd like my trees to have a theme. Like one is, for example, felt Christmas ornaments. One is red. The other is, I don't know, old photos of my family. Things like that. And that's why or maybe, even if it's one tree, but you could decorate it differently every year, right? Every year you could have a theme. And I'd love one day to have this, I don't know, maybe it's felt theme, maybe it's sparkling theme. Because all of those, you can't see it right now, but those Christmas ornaments are, they look amazing, especially when you have these lights on the tree and everywhere, and the lights are reflecting. The beads reflect the lights. It looks very glittery, sparkling, very nice. So that's what I want to do. And also, you know, you see this shape? Does it look like an egg to you? It doesn't for me, because eggs are, you know, narrower at one side. And Jesus, what did I do? I did something wrong. But I was thinking, I was like keeping in my mind that it's already spring and I don't need Christmas ornaments for a while, but I do need maybe Easter decorations. Can it work as an Easter decoration? I don't actually celebrate Easter, but I join the others in those festivities. But that doesn't, when I see this, it doesn't say Christmas to me. For me, Easter, sorry. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, the important question is it already spring where you are? Because it's not here. I live in Lahti, Finland, and it's so cold. It's minus 25 degrees Celsius here. It's been colder, but it is cold. And I sometimes think about spring, and I'm kind of supposed to be planning projects for spring, but for some reason I haven't yet. I haven't planned anything yet. And I'm not sure if I need to, if I want to, if I'm inspired. I mean, I am inspired. I have already made a felt embroidered rubber boat and a felt embroidered bird, and they are very springy, and the colors are kind of springy. This is not spring. This color is not spring, but those are very, you know, fresh and springy. But at the same time, I kind of don't care about seasons changing. I'm okay with all the seasons. I love all seasons, but I'm not sure if I want to plan the projects because of the seasons, because of spring. So it's something actually that I'm struggling with a little bit, because I want to make some content for you, some spring content, but I don't know what to make. Also, I feel like I've been switching from knitting to some other crafts lately. I'm very into sewing right now. And I love it, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with that. You know, there are crafters that specifically craft only this or that. But most of my subscribers are like me. Well, duh, obviously. They just need something in their home, for example, or need some garment, and they choose the craft that is convenient for this garment. Like for example, if you need mittens, obviously you would choose knitting or maybe crochet, but mostly knitting. If you need a skirt, you would probably choose sewing. And you know, some people, they don't care, or they don't, it's not that important for them what craft they should use. They just go for it. And then there are others who can only knit or like only to knit, and that's why they just choose knitting. Hey, hey, nice to see you all. Nice to see you. Welcome. If you have a couple of minutes, please interact with this live. It helps a lot. It shows the algorithms something, and it shows my videos to other people who might enjoy them. So it would be very nice of you to help me out. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. Who's crafting? Sorry, who is crafting? What are you making? You know, I always say I watch crafting videos when I don't craft. I watch crafting videos when I cook or when I clean, probably do something else. And then when I craft, I watch booktube. I watch, you know, some lectures, something else. You know, so I enjoy different videos, but I don't craft mostly. I don't craft while watching crafting videos. But, you know, that hasn't always been the case. I used to craft and while watching crafting videos. Sometimes I do now too, but mostly I watch something else when I'm crafting. Okay, this is, you probably noticed that I make a knot on the other side. Actually, I'm not sure if it's very efficient, I don't know, because you spend a lot of time on that. You need a lot of time and extra thread, by the way, but you don't need such a secure, you know, such a security in this kind of craft. I mean, you don't use it, you don't wear this thing, you don't, it's very unlikely that you cut this thread, because you just hang it on the somewhere, on a tree or somewhere else, and that's it. It's not very likely to for a thread to be cut. But I do that because if you do cut the thread, if it's not secured at all, you cut this thread and all the other beads come off. So this is why I'm doing that, so that if one bead comes off, it's just that. You can cut the thread and nothing else happens. They don't go like dominoes. They don't fall off. They all don't fall off. Hello, hello. Thank you. Thank you for the likes, and thank you most of all for being here. Welcome. So these knots are for a rare occasion when the bead can be cut off, so that just, you know, there's garlands, there's lights, when one light goes off and all the others do too. This is the same situation. I don't want to one bead to ruin all the others. That's why I'm doing that. And you can see I sometimes make one knot, sometimes double knot. Sometimes I skip one and don't do a knot, because that's okay if the chain of 2 beads goes off, right? 2 beads go off and that's okay. I have no rule here. I'm just while practicing it around Christmas, I came up with the things I like seeing, and mainly it's a lot of beads. It looks very nice when there are a lot of beads. They sparkle, they shine. It looks amazing. So I just, I fill them. As you can see, I filled the space with these round beads all over. Then I'm filling it with these, what are they called? I forgot. These square beads. And later I will probably go one more time and fill even the smaller places with maybe both of them, maybe one type of them. This is not science. This is just, this way I can stop at any time and it looks presentable, even if I don't finish, even if I don't have time or opportunity for the last go. It looks okay. It looks finished. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining me. Are you crafting? If you're crafting, please tell me what you're making. What's your craft? It always surprised me how the color of the thread, you see, it's beige, I would say. It looks very different here, but with the beads, it's perfect, even though they are transparent here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Tell me, are you switching into spring crafting? Have you already started making, I don't know what, t-shirts or some, I don't know, are you using cotton instead of wool? Things like that. And do things change for you depending on the season? When I was a teenager, I used to take a break, and when I was very young, I used to take a break. I couldn't knit in summer at all. But it hasn't been the case for a while now, for many years. Now I'm thinking that I might be shifting into not my projects not to differ depending on the season, because the spring is coming, the spring is very near, and I still hasn't even started thinking about, spring projects. And I could even say I don't want to start thinking about spring projects. I have some orders, let's call them that. My relatives asked me to make some things for them. And they include 2 pairs of mittens, 1 pair of socks, something else I forgot. They're all kind of very wintry. They're all warm. They're supposed to be warm for cold winters. So that's what I'm thinking about. And, you know, the weather doesn't help because it's minus 25 degrees Celsius here in Finland, in the part of Finland where I live. And it's a very beautiful winter, so I kind of don't want to think about spring yet. Yet I know that if I want to make some content for you guys, some maybe tutorials, they should be ready before spring, right? So that they are ready to go when you need them in spring. So I don't know, I am a little bit torn. At the same time, I don't want to like make myself do what I absolutely don't want to do. At the same time, that's crafting, right? I always want to do crafting. It's it doesn't matter if it's what season it is. So maybe I should just sit and think about that. Maybe write some stuff down. It helps sometimes. Again, you see, I sewed 3 beads, I think, and only on the third one I am making a knot, so that if the thread breaks, just 3 beads will fall off. Not all of them, just 3 of them. But you know what? I'm also thinking you could not do the knots at all, because first of all, it's very unlikely for this kind of stuff to break, right? Because we don't use them. We just hang them and they're there. Nothing is happening to them. Second of all, even if they are not secured, if something happens, if the thread breaks, it doesn't mean that it goes all the way again, because we're not using them. It's just hanging there, right? So that might be okay. You don't actually need to do all this work. I don't know, maybe I'm enjoying the process. That's why I'm making the knots. Forgot which one I sewed. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Very nice to see you all here. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who is crafting? Oops. Oh, I promised myself I would hydrate. I have a cup of water here that I need to drink while I'm live. Because when it's summer, I kind of want to drink water. It happens by itself. But when it's winter, I always forget because I don't want to. I want to drink hot tea, you know, sometimes cocoa, coffee, maybe more than 1 coffee a day because it's dark and I'm sleepy. And I do know that you need to drink water, not something else, not something that consists of water and something else, but just clear water. It's very important. I drink hot and warm. What did I say? warm water. Most of the times, to be honest. When I was a child, I had this. My family used to say that warm water is disgusting. And I believed that. I have an older brother and I did like everything he says. And I wanted to be like him, like cool like him. So I accepted that warm water was not cool, literally. And it stuck with me, I guess. And only after growing up, I just accepted that I actually love warm water. I hate when cold water gets inside of me and it's so cozy and warm inside of me, and then there is cold water. I hate this feeling. It feels like it gets into my lungs or into not only into my stomach, but everywhere, And after accepting this fact about me, I started drinking warm water and hot water, and actually heard many times that it is very healthy to drink warm water. So, especially in the morning when you're, sleepy yet. So, I kind of, speaking about that, I think differently about many things that I was taught when I was a child. Things were just said to me, and I was a child. I couldn't critically think about that. I just accepted them. But now, often I change my mind, I change my patterns, I change my habits, and it helps me a lot. Those are small things that are very easy to change, but they change your life quite a lot. I think about it a lot. Okay, for you, are spring colors pastels or bright, like fresh colors? Because I don't know, for me it's kind of both. Maybe it's more about the how they look together. What colors do we use together? But for Easter, definitely pastels. But generally for spring, I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to say that spring is pastels and summer is bright colors. But somehow I don't believe myself fully. I kind of do. It kind of makes sense. But something, maybe, that's a little bit putting spring in the box. Just pastels and nothing else. I don't know. But there are flowers. When we talk about colors of spring, we are talking about flowers mainly, right? So there are flowers that are very muted in spring, right? They are, what are they called? Daffodils. They are peonies. They are muted, right? They are pastels. And then in summer we got red roses and things like that. But of course, there are also, wild bright flowers in spring, and there are also pastel flowers in summer. So maybe, you know, maybe it's more about the amount of color, you know. There is not a lot of color in spring, it's just starting. But then in summer, there is a lot of color and it's concentrated. Hey, welcome, welcome. Join us. Are you crafting? Oops. You know, every time I choose kind of my craft, my favorite craft, I then tend to switch from it to something else. So do you have a favorite craft? Do you have your craft that is considered yours? Or are you like me and do you like to switch and try everything? I actually, most of the days, I switch crafts. Like, I do something for an hour and then I switch when I'm tired of that project, of a knitting project, let's say. I switch to a sewing project, to a crochet project, to a cross stitch project. Oh, by the way, I have a huge cross stitch. It's winter themed, lying there. I started it. I made a lot of that, maybe a half even. But I can't finish it. And I want to because it's a picture of a winter landscape. There is a house there. It looks like Finland a lot, maybe Sweden. And I want to hang it on my wall. I'd love to see it on my wall. But to do that, I have to finish it, and I procrastinate. And I do. You know, I was planning to make a kind of a schedule to work on it like every day or every other day for half an hour, let's say, to just keep things going. But I can't, you know, I do it. I remember I do it once or twice for many hours in a row, and then I, of course, burn out and don't do anything about it for, I don't know, 6 months. I saw a video recently. A lady said that you are supposed to thread the needle with the end of the thread that comes from, what is it called? From the bobbin. And then it works better. It doesn't twist, you know, it works well. And that's what I've been doing, and it I don't know, it does work well, but I can't say it didn't work very well before that, when I didn't pay attention to that. I mean, I probably did that even before, but just because it's easier. You get the thread from the bobbin and you thread it into the needle. It's just, you know, convenient. But now I am paying attention to that. You know what I'm thinking about? If I wanted to make the handle here or here, because I kind of like it horizontally. Looks nice. Well, I have one more. Maybe I will make one of them horizontal and one of them vertical. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Do you have any spring projects planned? Have you seen any patterns, that scream spring? I'm thinking now maybe I haven't met any patterns that that are very springy. Maybe that's why I don't want to. Maybe not. That's why I'm not very inspired about spring. Maybe I should stop asking myself that, because that's quite all right, actually. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of it. I went to what is it called? A free book day. There is a website, an online store in Finland that sells new and used books. A very nice website. I use it all the time. And they sometimes they get rid of their stock, and that's what happened on Saturday. They had a free book day. They just had this huge room. They placed a lot of tables there, and there were a lot of books on those tables, and you could just come and take whatever books you wanted to take with you. It's a very nice initiative. I loved it. We took just one book. We didn't like anything else. Maybe next time, if we don't forget, we should come there earlier. Maybe then there is a chance to find better books. Maybe that was the problem, but maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just not the assortment that we enjoyed. I don't know. But the day was very nice. And I love this initiative, and I think it's very healthy. They don't actually need all those books, right? They need space for new books, for, restocking their warehouses and so on. And by the way, they did that at the same time, because there were three actually shelves, kind of, I don't know, wardrobes, cabinets, where you could leave your books. So we could bring the books we have already read and leave them there. It was also nice. And take new books. So it's a recycling, a repurposing cycle. I love that. I try to recycle everything. Recycle, repurpose. I use up everything I can. Like, for example, when I eat an orange or a grapefruit, I peel it. I peel the outer, the thin, with a vegetable peeler. The thin, what is this called? I forgot. Right? I peel it. I dry these peels, and then I add them. Then I add them into my tea. So it smells nice, and it's maybe some kind of nutritions are still there. And I do it with everything, like everything I can use. All the parts of a fruit or or a vegetable I could use, I try to use. I try not to waste. I try to remake my old clothes into something else, use the fabrics for sewing and so on. And it, it gives me a great deal of satisfaction. I love it. I always have more than one project going on, but they are usually kind of different projects. First of all, different crafts, and second of all, different, sizes maybe. So you are knitting, say, a cardigan or a blanket, and you are knitting mittens. What are you taking with you when you're traveling? The smaller one, of course, right? Because it fits into your bag, it's easier. You won't knit a blanket on a plane, for example. So I always have several projects going on, but usually I try to finish, similar projects. I will finish a blanket before starting a cardigan because they are the same type of pattern, the same type of project, So this is something in between. Some people say that we are either this or that. We either finish one project and then start another, or we only start the projects and don't finish them ever. But this is something in between, and this is what I came up with during the years of crafting, because it is sometimes it's very not efficient to have just one project. You need several projects, but at the same time, if you just start them and don't finish them, that's not a good thing too. I mean, that's okay, but I don't know, I just want result as much as I want the process. Okay, what are we thinking? Another layer of beads or what? Yeah, in the middle. So do I add some more round beads? They kind of don't sparkle as much as these ones do. Yeah, probably just the square ones. I'm sorry, I know that they are not called that, but I forgot what they are called. Again, I can't do it better than that. I have to do it manually. This is the only way I know how. Okay. Oh, it shines so nicely. Have any of you tried beading, attaching beads to felt or some fabric? What are you thinking? I still cannot say if it's a very time-consuming task or not, because when I'm focused and when I just sit and bead, I don't know, the project is finished quite fast. It doesn't take me all day, you know. But sometimes it does, but because I get distracted, I do something else. I might work on several projects at a time. I might get distracted for other things, like, you know, at my home, do cleaning, cooking, or I don't know, some things I have to do. So I'm still not sure how slow this craft is. I mean, all crafts are quite slow, and that's what we love about them. But for me, cross stitch, for example, is extremely slow. It is, in my opinion, much slower than knitting, for example. At least if we consider the speed that I'm cross-stitching with. Maybe some, you know, professionals cross-stitch much faster. I don't know. But I mean, how faster it could be. Even much faster than me means quite slow, you know what I mean? I cross-stitched 3 t-shirts this year. 2 for my husband, 1 for my brother. And you know, another one, the 4th one, is a very small one for me. But that was just a test, and I don't like it a lot. I don't wear it a lot. But my husband and my brother do wear their things. And I think they like it. I think they are not being polite when they say that, because I can see them wear them all the time, and you kind of can tell when people are when people don't want to hurt you, or when they really enjoy the thing. I think I'm losing my voice. I haven't talked for a while, for so long. That's funny. Hello, welcome, join us. We are crafting. Yeah, if you crochet, I have a very nice kitchen cloth, or what is it called? I forgot. Let's call it a kitchen cloth. And it's very easy, but it looks, you know, it's just double crochets, single crochets, things like that. But it looks kind of fancy. It looks nice enough for you to hang it in your kitchen. So if you need a project to practice your crochet on, or if you need a present for someone who is, you know, who deserves a handmade present, because we discussed it in my short video. Oh, I had such awful stories when people make handmade gifts, make gifts for their relatives, for people they love, and they don't, it's not a secret, it's not a random person you find and he doesn't know that you craft. No, it's not a secret. They craft Everyone knows that they craft. They present their gifts as precious objects just for the people they were thinking about. And people they don't care, you know. They don't care enough even to, I don't know, say thank you properly, to use it once in a while. I get it, you don't have to love this stuff, right? But you can be a human and you can talk about that. You can kind of talk about that with a crafter and say, you know what, I will use this one because you already made it. And I understand that it's important for you, and then I understand that it's worth a lot. But, you know, to be honest, don't make me another one because I don't cherish it that much. But when people, you know, say things like, you could use different colors, or I don't know, I don't like it, I like the blanket from IKEA more. Oh, it broke my heart when I read those comments. Like, people who know how important it is for a crafter to give them this gift, who know that they show their appreciation to them, they just can't even say thank you properly. I don't know. I don't know. It was heartbreaking to read those comments. But you know, those crafters mostly stopped making handmade gifts for the people who don't deserve them, and focused on themselves and focused on their spouses, for example, their children, on people who do deserve them, who do appreciate them, who do understand how valuable those gifts are. So that's, well, let's call it a lesson. A lesson. That's good that they focused on themselves. I know a lot of crafters, and I used to be one of them, who don't ever make anything for themselves, just for the others. And then when someone asks, well, you're a crafter, why isn't there anything handmade in your home, for example? It hurts. So I agree, this is important to, at some point, to start making time for your own crafting, for yourself. Hello, hello. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for being here. You help me a lot because, you know, sometimes algorithms are very cruel, to be honest. I know they are not cruel. They don't know what they are. It feels like, you know, it feels cruel. You try and try and try, and then no one sees your video because the algorithms, I don't know, broke something. That hurts. Okay, I think this is it. Maybe one more here. But now the ornament looks very, very full. Suppose it should be enough sparkle, right? Maybe one more here. There is a space. Maybe it depends on the beads too. Not maybe, it definitely depends on the beads. But mostly I liked, I've been liking making ornaments that are very filled with beads, you know. Usually it looks better. I also, you know, I am using up all the beads I have. I've been on a mission to use up all the crafting materials I have already. But when I do finish that mission, more or less, I want to try those long, long beads. You know, they are thin and long. They look amazing. You know, I also like when beads are the same color or almost the same color as these are, but different shapes. That looks amazing. Okay, yes, this is it, I think. Yay! Now, off the camera, I will finish it by attaching the other side, right? Joining them together and filling it with a little bit of a polyester filling. Oh, and making the hanger, of course. Yeah, but yeah, this is more or less the Christmas ornament or the Easter ornament. We don't know yet. Okay, you guys, thank you for being with me. See you next time. And I hope you have a nice crafting